All right, welcome back. And it's still Breakfast Daily, and we are having conversations this morning on our communities. It's a community-focused segment, and we want to look again, want to take you back to the Volta region and take a look at more road challenges. Now, I think this segment is so important on the show because it's important to expose all the hidden things that are going on around the country. And when I say hidden things, it's not hidden to the members of the communities where these things are happening, but to the rest of us in the country, some of these things are pretty much hidden, right? And so we don't really get a sense of the difficulties. I mean, you may live in a place where you don't drive on any bad road necessarily to go to work or to go to school. Sometimes, the only bad road you may encounter is maybe like 100 meters of, some potholes.
Yeah.
So
and even that one is because you probably are, you are driving on a very smooth road. So when you get there, you feel as if
it's terrible.
Odd, But some people don't even have an idea what an asphalted road is.
Exactly. And I think that's why this segment is so critical and so important for us to bring you these conversations. Let's go back to the Volta region. There's some challenges with terrible roads. Let's take a look.
Ave Dakpa, the capital of the Akatsi North district of the Volta region, is noted for the farming of maize, cassava, yam and tomatoes. Unfortunately, the road linking the community to Akatsi, where they trade most of their farm produce, is in a poor state. This, the residents say, is negatively affecting economic activities in the area. They also lament the danger posed to people traveling across the two districts as the road has become a death trap. To make matters worse, recent rains have rendered the road immotorable, making it difficult for people to move easily between Akatsi North and Akatsi South. Some commercial drivers who ply the stretch appealed to government to swiftly complete the construction of the road to ease the transportation burden on both drivers and passengers.
Moya adafuna mivie alaba na mi kata nyapa shock so tire wa agala na machocha amia chagala jikola melanda kama sa komo tamije ku deba no akpara miam ana wa moate tinamina miapo monyola voatea kamia ntomia na mia manage ka
miapo dumeme chichi o ho le moya ji tonfia o le mo pombe nu ikele jojo le moya ji alo wa o le 4 km no vai kulu ko evo omega ke na dumevi obe do hitaizi alo na nezamolo no jagba no va trasi le monchi na miri no hono va ide mia no yo me boko dumeme chichi o mi de kuku na mi wo dore chumo ya nchi na mi de.
The road is not good. It's like it's getting to 2 years now, and since 2020 and the road spoiled, we've been complaining always that they should fix the road, but always they are not hearing. So we are suffering on the road too much. That's why now we are not plying this road. It's better we ply the Tajabu road. It is somehow okay, better than this one.
Our road is not good at all. Yesterday I'm from Ho going to Aplau. The road is not good at all because of the road. I'm moving here almost 5 years ago, but still they said we will come and do the work for the road for that, but still we are just managing the work because everything go high. Every day they increase this our spare part. So how can I get the money? If at least the road safeguard they can make for us. So we are begging our people to help us at least to do the road for us.
The assembly member for Ave Dakpa electoral area, Patrick Kwame Ahiabu, says the poor nature of the road, coupled with rains, has led to erosion in most parts of the area. He intimates that the roads in Akatsi North need urgent attention and called on authorities to intervene.
Most part of the communities are not having any better roads. This has led to excessive erosion in almost all parts of the community. And sometimes when it rains heavily, it runs into people's rooms, and then hundreds of people become homeless. So I think this is the most pressing development deficit that we are having as a district capital.
The Member of Parliament for Akatsi North, Peter Notu Kotoi, in an interview accused the NPP government of deliberately abandoning the road. He explained that the road had been awarded on contract and work was progressing steadily until the NDC lost power in 2016. According to the MP, government will have to spend more to construct the road due to the level of deterioration since it was.
So it was incumbent on the current government now to continue with the project. Every project must receive a budgetary allocation. So if government had allocated budgetary facilities for it, I think money would have been available. So it was just a deliberate attempt by government to abandon the road, and that was what they did. So if they had taken into consideration the plight of the people, they would have continued with the road. And now the road has deteriorated. Government will have to spend more money now to complete the road.
The DCE for Akatsi North, Simon Peter Fosu, admits the road is beyond the construction capacity of the assembly. He, however, assured that efforts are being made to bring it to the attention of the central government.
It's a road that is connecting the Akatsi North District Assembly and Akatsi South District Assembly. And we are working around trying to bring this road to the attention of central government. Once it's a major road which is beyond the construction of the District Assembly. And we have gone very far on this, and we are hoping to have some positive feedback.
Right, so that is the situation in the Volta region in a community called Ave Dakpa. Yeah. I hope I got that right. Yeah, right. I can see Paul nodding. You know, and let me say that this whole piece was put together by one of our cameramen, Evans Kuhe, and in fact, he's producing this, you know, Kuhe. But we've been joined by the MP for Akatsi North, Peter Notu Kotoi. Thank you very much, sir. Welcome to Breakfast Daily.
Yeah, thank you, and good morning.
Good morning. Now, why are you blaming the NPP government for deliberately abandoning the road, considering there was an NDC government some 5 years ago? Why didn't they fix the road?
Yeah, thank you very much. The issue is that this was a contract ordered in 2016, and work started immediately. And there was a change of government. By the constitution, started by a previous government should be continued by the succeeding government. But this was not the case for Ave Dakpa Akatsi Rd. And we have made several appeals to the Minister for Roads and Highways to get the road continued and completed. But he will not listen to us. And it's public money that was used in starting the road. And it was getting the...
Hello, Honorable.
Hello, yes?
Yes, please go ahead.
Yes. So the money spent on that road was going to be a waste. So we are always crying that these governments will listen to us. So they've abandoned the project for over 5 years now. And that's why we are saying that the road must be fixed. And yesterday, fortunately, the minister was in the chamber to answer a question I asked over 6 months ago about why the road was not completed. He gave his explanation. He confirmed that the road was awarded in 2016 and work started. It was a package, so they have to rationalize the package. So what do you mean by rationalization? That the total project was not only for that road, but other roads in other areas. So they were going to rationalize it, and they are waiting for approval. Waiting for approval for 5 years before you continue with the road construction. Well, he promised that very soon they will work on it.
Right.
So that is where we are.
Okay, Honorable. So in 2016, how much was allocated, for the construction of the road? What exactly was done?
It was 85.5 million Ghana cedis.
Okay.
Yes.
And what has been done so far since 2016?
Oh, I will not be ready to. I cannot say so, but I know very well that all the culverts, the U-drains, had been completed. So it was just left with filling the road with laterite and then bitumen. That was the only thing left. But if you go back now, it is very bad. Yes. So you see that it's money that has been wasted. So more than about 60% or more of the work was done. And what was left was just about 40% to be completed.
Interesting.
And the propaganda then was that the project was not awarded. The contractor just came to site. And so how can you imagine that the contractor will come to site without an award letter and contract document? But yesterday, the minister confirmed that the project was duly awarded and the cost was 85.5 million Ghana cedis.
Now, with the nature of this road, how is it affecting economic activities in the area?
Oh, very much. If you travel on the road now with this rainy season, you have it very, very difficult. It links Akatsi and Ave Dakpa. These are two market centers that our people
Honorable?
On the church.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, no, your line keeps dropping.
Is it okay now?
Yes, it's okay.
So you realize that the sections that were not completed or nothing much was done, it has become impassable. So during the rainy season like this, vehicles are getting stuck in the mud, and you feel pity for the people. So travel time is wasted, and it's affecting economic activity. They cannot go. They have to pass a long distance, go to Tajohu, travel to Akatsi markets, and vice versa. So that is the challenge we are facing with the road as it is now.
So, per your conversation with the roads minister yesterday, what was the conclusion? I mean, what's going to happen?
The assurance that very soon the contractor will come back to site. But he has asked me to see him next week so that he will furnish me with more information on the place for the contractor to return to site.
So in the meantime, is there any kind of measure you can, put in place, i.e. maybe grading the road, because very soon we'll be out of the rainy season? I mean, what's going to happen, just to support your people a little bit until the contractor gets to site?
Well, at any season, any attempt to re-gravel the road or reshape it worsens the situation. So we are waiting for the rain to subside, and then we see what we can do. I know the GP the last time was telling me that he was in contact with the feeder roads to see what assistance they can give, because it's a 28-kilometer route and it needs money. So I will meet the minister next week and then what remedial measures he will put in place for the period or for the time returns to site.
Right. Thank you very much, Honorable. We will wait for you to have your meeting with the roads minister next week. But please, when you meet him, kindly ask him to give us timelines when exactly the contractor is getting to site and when the contractor is getting money to work on that road. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, and have a good day.
Thanks, you too. Right, so that is the MP for Akatsi North, Peter Nochu Kotoi, telling us about the Ave Dakpa road, that links
Akatsi
to Akatsi
and,
as well. So this is the situation, when the roads are like these, during the rainy season is unmotorable. Now, during dry season, it's extremely dusty, posing health challenges to people. So either way,
it goes back to the conversation that we were having yesterday, about the fact that you have a national development plan. This must be the guiding document for every government. And we, the people, need to insist on it that no government must deviate from the national development plan, because without that, it's going to be just mayhem every single time. Every government comes, and that's what they want, so that they can collect their brownie points. They can collect their stars and make, in an attempt to look good. But at the end of the day, if Ghana doesn't work, nobody looks good.
No, you see, I think that sometimes we fail to realize that Ghana doesn't belong to you.
Yeah.
You don't need funds from anybody.
Yeah,
if you're not helping your people, you have failed. Whatever you try to do. I mean, no matter how you put yourself forward out there to international communities, to other people, if your people are hungry in here, it is a big failure. You know. And for me, if we are talking about food shortage, we are talking about all these things, but let's look at the farm roads. We have farmers also crying that we don't have any means of bringing our produce to the market, and children are hungry. So really, when you kind of juxtapose these two, you don't really know what we want to do. You don't. I don't understand why we are suffering, to get food for people when there's food on some farms,
which can't even come out of the farm because you've not done what you should do. So here's what I realize is sometimes a little funny in terms of the way our governments think and behave. And of course, we've always said that our government is an extension of who we are as a people. They are the ones who've gotten the opportunity to be voted into office, but really they're like us. As the question, how do we think? How do we function? Look, you want your numbers to look good so that somebody outside somewhere can say, oh, you are doing well. Really? But those same people have people in Ghana who tell them the reality on the ground. So they already know. So the numbers you're presenting to make you look good, it's like a joke. It's a farce. That's what it is, right? The same people want to come to Ghana and say, I want to go to which fort? One of the forts along the western region.
Amsterdam.
Right? And the road to that place is a nightmare. So how are you? It doesn't translate.
David, so I keep asking myself, we keep borrowing, and I'm not just talking about this government. I mean, this is something that cuts across governments, we keep borrowing. I mean, our health sector is suffering, education suffering, tourism suffering, agriculture suffering. So really,
no area is doing well.
I just want to say, tourism is suffering, health is suffering, education is suffering, but look at agric. So all our efforts, are going to agric. But as we sit now, you can't pinpoint one sector to say that we don't have any problems with this sector. So when you ask yourself, what exactly have we been doing? We get up every day to say we are doing something. But where are the things that we are doing? What do we point to say that this we have no problems with? I'm struggling, to find
No, there isn't anything that we're not having problems with.
So where is the money?
And I asked the question about the planting for food and jobs, all the interventions in the agri sector. And one of the things I really don't like, and to be very honest with you, about the posturing of the agric minister, every time he's questioned about challenges in the agric sector, he has very slick, brilliant sounding reasons, for why things are the way they are, and it's not really his fault, and so on. I don't think that you can run away from the reality of what the problems are on the ground. If people can't transport their food from farm gate to market, that's your problem.
No, we say that photo no lie.
That's your problem.
David,
how are you running away from that?
You can say you are fair.
But
I'm looking at a dark guy. So what are you telling me? This is the reality. Anyway, we have the DCE for Akatsi North, Simon Peter Ofosu, on the line. Thank you very much, sir. You're welcome to Breakfast Daily.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. Now, what are you doing about the complaints from your residents in Akatsi North regarding, and especially Ave Dakpa, regarding the bad nature of the roads?
Thank you, and very good morning to your cherished listeners or viewers. On the issue of Ave Dakpa to Akatsi Rd, it's one of the roads that is very dear to us as an assembly and government. And the status of the road has been taken very serious. We've had a couple of discussions with the regional minister, Federal Rules, and we are putting in our very best to make sure that the contracts, that road has been awarded on contracts some years back, and then we are following up on the contractor to come back to site.
Honorable, when you say you are putting in your best, what exactly does that mean? How do you define your best?
Yes, since coming into office, I went to Federal Road to get the details of the contractor. And I had a discussion with the regional minister. He also followed up to monitor the road and observe the Agenda 11, which is also along the same road. During the monetary visit to Agenda 11, he also took the opportunity to tour on the road and assess the status of the road. Then he also advised that we put in a letter, a mandate letter to Federal Road and copy him. He will also attach a copy letter to the Minister of Roads and Highways. We have done that, and then we are following up on the letters that we have sent to the ministry.
Great. Now, that seems like a lot of work. So when is the contractor getting back on site?
For that, once we are still following up, we don't have a specific date now. But the aspect of the road that is taken on by the CODA, that one, we are very certain that before the end of this month, that aspect will be taken care of. But the aspect that is with the Ministry of Roads and Highways, I cannot give a specific deadline, timeline now. But we are very positive and hopeful that with assurance and the zeal that the regional minister, myself, and all other stakeholders are putting in as duty bearers, they are very positive that the contractor will respond to our calls and get back to site.
Now, how would you assess the impact of the poor nature of the road on economic activities in that area?
Yes, honestly, it's actually having a toll on economic activities because that is the major road that leads to Akatsi and most of our communities that brings crops or foodstuffs from their various communities to Ave Dakpa market, which is a major market in the district. So it's actually having a toll on economic activities, no doubt about that. And more serious about it is also that the Agenda 11 hospital, which is one of the projects that is moving at a very fast rate, is also along that road, and transportation of materials to site is also being affected.
So at this point, what message do you have for residents in Akatsi North, especially those who ply the Ave Dakpa road?
Yeah, like I keep on saying, we as district bearers have taken notice of the challenges that the road is posing to our economic life and other engagement, and we are taking it very serious. We are assuring them on behalf of government that we will do our very best to make sure that the contractor comes to site, and they should keep praying for us and keep the support as we also put in effort to make sure that the contractor gets back to site.
Right. Thank you very much, Mr. Ofosu, for your time.
I'm very grateful and have a very wonderful day.
Thanks.
Yeah.
So this is it.
Yeah.
You know, usual of political talk.
I know, right?
We can only assure you. So the residents of Ave Dakpa, that is what your MC is saying. As it stands now, we don't know when the contractor is coming. I'm not sure if that road will be fixed under this government, in this administration, from the look of things and from the time that the government has. And the numerous challenges that we have, I don't know what's going to happen.
I highly doubt it, considering, like you said, the challenges that we're going through at the moment. The pressures are real. And they're coming from every side, you know. So, of course, there are global exigencies that you're being hit, you know, from every side. But I think that for me, as always, the mind that once you take up a leadership mantle, you have to anticipate that there will be externalities, right?
Exactly.
How are you going to do with yourself on the inside, okay, to make sure that what you are managing comes out well, comes out nicely? Because the entire globe is going through challenges, but people are running their countries well. Some countries are not going through what we are going through.
Well, must say that others are also doing worse, like Sri Lanka.
Well, yes, but you see, we don't compare ourselves to those who are doing worse. We are
no, I'm just trying to say that sometimes maybe we should just kind of
cut ourselves a little bit of
drink water, cut ourselves some slack and drink water and wait for better days ahead, because Charlie, some people's issues are worse. For me, I think that the pressing need right now for Ghana is how to get food to the children in school. This is our priority. If this is not a priority of government, then I'm sorry we are losing it, but we need to get food to those children. The food was supposed to go yesterday.
And it hasn't reached.
It hasn't reached the school. Maybe it's in transit. So let's believe that.
Traffic.
Well, maybe. So maybe by end of day, at least we would have. Can't we get the vehicles with siren to blow and make people open way like the politicians will do when they have to attend to their businesses? If this is key. Anyway, this is Breakfast Daily. The conversation continues shortly.